Garden avec Truly Madly Deeply sur Radio Plus. 11h30, on y va pour la PNQ, accueillant en studio Priscilla Sadien et David Boudna. C'est à vous, bonjour.
Bonjour Yannick, bonjour à tous. Merci, vous pouvez rejoindre nous pour cette séance de la PNQ. David Boudna, bonjour.
Bonjour Priscilla Sadien, bonjour bon auditeur, bon internaute.
Et après l'absence la semaine dernière, Premier ministre Navid Ramgoolam de retour à l'Assemblée nationale ce mardi, éclipé répond à la private notice question du leader de l'opposition à une PNQ axée l'au exercice de recrutement, un récent exercice de recrutement par Local Government Service Commission. Joey Jonga, Péoulé connaît par rapport à un poste déboueur, refuse collector et general worker. Nombre d'employés recrutés dans chaque collectivité locale lors de l'exercice de recrutement de 2026, en précisant le nombre de candidatures rejetées lors de l'exercice-là, le nombre de recrues de 2026 parmi qui issus de l'exercice de recrutement de 2024 et qui se contrat fin résilié en janvier 2026 et qui fait l'objet d'un case la police ou encore qui peine un certificat de caractère propre et Joey Jonga Péoulé aussi connaît qui m'a une conclusion d'une enquête qui fin faire si finéna à la suite de accusations de discrimination visant l'ancien président de la LGSC relativement à cette affaire.
Oui, Priscilla Sadien, donc semaine dernière, député Annabelle Savabadi, une fois, il repose sa question le récent recrutement par Local Government Service Commission, LGSC, après qu'auparavant, il déjà interroge le Premier ministre Navid Ramgoolam, sa thème là. Et il demande donc le ministre collectivité locale, Ranji Vouchit, si exercice recrutement, pas si besoin être annulé, il aussi évoque un chiffre qui laisse entendre un déséquilibre dans représentation ethnique. Dans sa réponse, Ranji Vouchit rappelle que LGSC est une institution indépendante et qui ni ce ministère pas capable de maintenir dans ban recrutement. Et en fait, il conclut le ministre Vouchit qui, et sa nouvel exercice là, s'est mené dans le respect de la loi, malgré ban accusation et rumeurs de maldonne. Il s'est en fait annonce l'introduction prochaine d'un système de recrutement électronique pour renforcer transparence.
Oui, et donc nous vous prenons tout de suite la direction de l'Assemblée nationale pour suivre cette PNQ de Joe Lejonga adressée au Premier ministre lors d'un récent recrutement par Local Government Service Commission.
Announcement.
Madam Speaker, with great sadness that we have learned of the demise of Mr. Valaidon Rammardimutu, former Member of Parliament, who passed away on the 11th of May of this year at the age of 72. Born on the 11th of January 1954, Mr. Mardimutu pursued a distinguished career in the field of engineering. He worked as a production engineer and textile consultant. He also served as chief executive officer in several companies in Mauritius and across the region. Mr. Rammardimutu stood as a candidate in the 1991 general elections for the Legislative Assembly under the banner of the Alliance Parti Travailliste PMSD for the constituency number 19, Stanley Rosil, but he was not elected. He stood as a candidate in the 1995 National Assembly by-election under the banner of the PMSD for the same constituency, Stanley and Rosil, but he was not returned. In 2005, Mr. Mardimutu stood as a candidate for the National Assembly elections under the banner of the Alliance Sociale for constituency number 13, Rivet des Anguilles and Souillac. He was returned as second member. He was appointed to serve as a member on the Committee of Selection. Beyond his professional and political career, Mr. Rammardimutu was also well known for his dedication to social work and community activities. With these words, Madam Speaker, may I request you to kindly direct the Clerk of the National Assembly to convey the deep condolences of the Assembly to the bereaved family. Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, on behalf of the opposition, I fully associate myself to the tribute paid by Dr. the Honourable Prime Minister to late Mr. Mardi Mutu Valaidon. Madam Speaker, may I kindly request you to direct the Clerk of the National Assembly to convey our deep condolences to the bereaved family. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Members. I associate myself with the tribute paid to the memory of the late Mr. Valaidon Ram Mardimutu, former Member of Parliament, by Dr. the Honourable Prime Minister and the Honourable Leader of the Opposition, and I direct the Clerk to convey the deep condolences of the Assembly to the bereaved family.
Papers have been laid. Questions?
Yes, Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I've given notice of the following private notice question addressed to Dr. the Honourable Prime Minister, Minister of Defence, Home Affairs and External Communications, Minister of Finance, Minister for Rodrigues and Outer Islands. Whether in regard to the post of refuse collector and general worker, he will, for the benefit of the House, obtain from the Local Government Service Commission information as to the number of employees recruited in each local authority in the 2026 recruitment exercise, indicating the A, number of rejected applications in the 2026 recruitment exercise, B, number of the 2026 recruits, one whose services for the 2024 recruitment exercise were terminated in January/February 2026, and two, who are subject to police cases and do not possess a clean certificate of character, and C, findings of the inquiry conducted, if any, following accusations of discrimination against the former chairperson of the LGSC, Dr. SM, in relation thereto.
Yes, Honourable Prime Minister.
Yes, Madam Speaker. The recruitment and appointment exercises for local authorities fall under the responsibility of the Local Government Service Commission, which is an independent statutory body. Madam Speaker, let me refer to what was stated last week in this House with regard to Parliamentary Question B652. And I quote, Section 4.2 of the Local Government Service Commission Act, the Commission shall not, in the exercise of its functions, be subject to the direction or control of any person or authority, unquote. Hence, Madam Speaker, no one can interfere in any matter falling under the statute, within the statutory function or internal processes of the LGSC. Madam Speaker, I'm informed that the recruitment exercise under reference was carried out following the reconstitution of the LGSC after this government took office in November 2024. As the House is aware, concerns were raised regarding the manner in which certain appointments took place under the previous regime. Following these concerns and after consultation with the Attorney General's Office, advice was obtained to the effect that the appointments were tainted, procedurally improper, and patently illegal. Consequently, the employment of 1,463 employees recruited on a temporary basis was terminated on the 15th of June 2025, following, as I said, legal advice received. Some of the employees took the matter to court. The House will surely recall how the recruitments were made on the eve, Madam Speaker, on the eve of the 2024 general elections, and that the then chairperson is under investigation for possible wrongdoing. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition would be well advised to get information on the modus operandi of the former chairperson of the LGSC, Mr. Banudit Bihari, who transformed the LGSC into a one-man commission. Madam Speaker, it would be apposite at this stage to quote part of the judgment of the Supreme Court on the 23rd of January 2026 in the case lodged against the Local Government Service Commission and the Municipal Town Council of Bakwa, Phoenix. And I quote, we have found and I quote from the judgment of the Supreme Court. We have found that the applicant's appointment was legally invalid. The Commission was entitled to terminate their employment in the exercise of its statutory powers. Neither this Court nor the Commission should be seen as condoning an unlawful appointment, unquote. I'm informed that following the judgment of the Supreme Court on the 23rd of January 2026, the termination process was implemented on the 29th of January of the same year in accordance with the decision of the Court. Madam Speaker, I'm also informed that thereafter, fresh recruitment exercises were carried out by the reconstituted board of the LGSC. I'm informed that these new recruitment exercises were conducted in accordance with the LGSC Act, the relevant schemes of service, and the established procedures. Madam Speaker, with regard to the number of employees recruited as refuse collector and general worker in each local authority in 2026, the recruitment exercise and information requested by the Honourable Leader of the Opposition at Part A and B of the PNQ, I am tabling the relevant information. If somebody can take it. With regard to Part B2, I'm informed by the LGSC that the appointment to the relevant grades is made on the condition that a clear character certificate be produced within a period of 2 months. So far, this information is being awaited from the local authorities, and once the deadline of 2 months lapses, the Commission will then be in a position to know the exact number of appointed employees who have police cases, if any. Madam Speaker, I need to add that a previous conviction per se should not be a bar to an appointment. Since 2012, the Equal Opportunities Act was amended to prevent discrimination in appointment or promotion where a previous conviction is unrelated to the ability of the person to perform his duties. We also recently voted a new Certificate of Character Bill aimed at preventing certain types of previous convictions from appearing on a person's certificate of character in order to help in the rehabilitation of such persons. In regards to Part C of the question, Madam Speaker, let me state that there has been no accusation of discrimination against the former chairperson. The LGSC is an independent statutory body operating under the LGSC Act, and no one intervenes in internal administrative matters or its decision-making processes.
Yes, Leader of the Opposition. Your first supplementary question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Can the Honourable Prime Minister inform the House whether he is aware of a press article dated the 22nd of April in the Express, where the former chairperson of the LGSC, Dr. SM, who has resigned, accused the Honourable Prime Minister of lying and misleading the House?
Lying and misleading the House in what context, Madam Speaker?
We'll get to the context. Again, Madam Speaker, with regard to the recruitment exercise, the Honourable Minister for Local Government last week stated the following, and I quote, this is in Hansard. As the Honourable Prime Minister stated in this House a few weeks ago, the matter was looked into at the level of the Commission, and the new chairperson subsequently tendered his resignation. However, I am informed that as matters presently stand, no inquiry has been initiated at the level of the LGSC in relation to these requirement exercises. Subsequently, there is no inquiry report. And the Honourable Prime Minister, while replying to a PQ, stated that the chairperson resigned following an inquiry. Can the Honourable Prime Minister confirm which statement is correct, because there is total contradiction in those two replies?
Really, Madam Speaker, I was given to understand that there was the likelihood of an inquiry being done. This wasn't done.
That's not in the answer. No, Madam Speaker.
Question. No statements. Please, no statements.
He stated in his reply.
Yeah, you've already said.
That
Now,
there is an inquiry. Now, if it is confirmed that there was no inquiry, can the Honourable Prime Minister inform the House Why the chairperson submitted his resignation then?
Well, he submitted his resignation. In his letter, he said for personal reasons.
For personal reasons. And why did he say that you lied? Can the Honorable Prime Minister inform the House whether he has been apprised of the discrepancies raised by my neighbor, Honorable Sababaji, concerning this recruitment exercise?
Your neighbor, yes.
I'm not sure what you're referring to. Discrepancies in what?
The recruitment process.
Yeah, there were allegations at the time. We all know there were allegations, but none has been found. And there was no complaint. There was no inquiry. And I can tell the honourable leader of the opposition, any public officer has a duty to report any interference or any suspected act of corruption. He has not done so, so there was none.
Don't comment while he's replying, please.
Can the Honorable Prime Minister confirm, as stated again by my neighbor, Honorable Sababaji, whether there has been discrimination on ethnic grounds in the recruitment process against one specific community? And if she would wish to come forward with a question, I'll give her way.
Wow, okay, yes.
As I explained, Madam Speaker.
Please let the Prime Minister reply. Ethnic reasons. Discrimination based on ethnic reasons.
I'm not aware of that, Madam Speaker. There were lots of allegations in the public. I think he quoted an article from the Express, but there was no inquiry, there was no discrimination found. Because there was no inquiry, there was no complaint by the person himself.
Can the Honorable Prime Minister, for example, confirm whether at the municipality of Port Louis, in two cases, the first one where 3 members of the same family, a mother and 2 sons, and the second case where again members of the same family were recruited. Is this the type of recruitment which is in line with meritocracy, Honorable Prime Minister?
That is precisely where there were these allegations. That is precisely.
Sorry?
That is precisely, some people made allegations. That's what I said.
This is true. This is on the list, and I'll table the list. Can the Honorable Prime Minister inform the House whether for the municipality of Port Louis, 50% of the 123 recruits are from one constituency only? That is constituency number 2. Somebody must have had the lion's share, Madam Speaker.
Can you confirm that, Prime Minister?
I cannot confirm that because I don't interfere in what the LGSC does and doesn't do.
I'm tabling that list, Madam Speaker.
I'm sorry, you're tabling which list?
The list
of those people who had been recruited
by the municipality of Port
of one constituency, right? Constituency number 2, that's what you said?
Of the 4 constituencies.
Stand up for speaking.
Madam Speaker, of the 4 constituencies
you have the
falling
whole list.
under the municipality of Port Louis.
Okay. Okay. You finished?
Can't table. I can table. I can table. Can the Honorable Prime Minister confirm whether he has received representations from elected members, including from his own party, alleging that the recruitment process was unduly influenced by political interference? And if this is the case, what remedial action has been taken, Madam Speaker?
Again, Madam Speaker,
I can't hear the Prime Minister.
Again, innuendos, and I don't know where he's getting all this information from. I was surprised that he said he has a list. I don't have a list.
May I have a look? May I have one moment, Prime Minister? I want to have a look at the list to see what kind of list it is. I'm sorry, can you help me, please? This is a list from the Post, Mauritius Post. Where'd you get that list? What does, please stand up, stand up. Tell me which list it is. I'm not rejecting the list.
I'm saying this is the list of recruits at the level of the municipality of Port Louis, Madam Speaker.
We have to know, where did you get it? Is it comes, may I do my job? May I be allowed to do my job, please? I want to know, where did you get the list? This is the rule. You know that.
I'm not supposed to tell you where you got the list, Madam Speaker.
You're not supposed to tell me? I will keep this. Okay. No, it's all right. You don't absolutely have to disclose your source. Okay. I will let him lay it on the table of the Assembly for what it's worth. We cannot force him to give his source. Okay, you can take it. All right, next question. Yes.
Madam Speaker, that list contains, I presume, real names, unless it's been invented, unless it's fake. But if ever they contain real names of real citizens and addresses, would this not be a breach of the data protection law?
That's it. Okay. Shut up, all of you, please. Members, donnez-moi le temps de dire, because it's a very sensitive issue, I'm going to keep my ruling and take time to consider. So for the moment it's here. I have not rejected it. Let it be here. Give me time, Leader of the Opposition. We will see. Because you don't have to disclose your source, but there is, of course, that question of names and details of other people. So give me time to give a ruling, okay? Carry on with your other questions.
Let me come back to the certificate of character. Can the Honourable Prime Minister inform the House whether among the newly recruited workers, some who have committed offences are still working?
As I said, Madam Speaker, if the Honourable Leader of the Opposition had listened carefully, there were amendments made to the law in 2012 that, let me record it. The Equal Opportunities Act was amended in 2012 to prevent discrimination in appointment or promotion where a previous conviction is unrelated to the ability of the person to perform his duties. Now, as far as I remember, 2012, it was the MSM who was in government, not us. You amended the law. Huh? Oh, sorry, it was us. But furthermore, a new certificate of character bill aimed at preventing certain types of previous convictions from appearing on a person's certificate of character in order to help the rehabilitation of such person. It goes, therefore, with the amendment of 2012, and then so that it doesn't stay as a Damocles on the head of the person. That was the reason.
Your next question.
Yeah, Madame la Présidente, si le gouvernement veut être transparent et
Non,
de
il y a
montrer
pas
que
de
la méritocratie a primé, will the Honourable Prime Minister undertake to table the list of persons recruited in each local authority, including their addresses, qualifications, selection scores, and the composition of the panel that appointed them?
One moment. He said selection scores. Is that what you said as well? Names, addresses, and selection. Yes, Prime Minister. Yes, Prime Minister. Can you give that kind of list?
I'm not sure I can, Madam Speaker, but I will seek advice whether I can or not. But the Honourable Leader of the Opposition, again, I remind him, he should look what happened when he was in government. MSM model, the modus operandi of the then chairperson of Mr. Bihar, the chairperson of the LJC. He turned it into a one-man commission. All this happened under their regime.
Yes, all right. Next question. Bear in mind that anybody who's unhappy can always go to the PBAT and to the court.
Yeah.
And I think we heard that there were cases in court.
Yeah,
Bear
that I know,
in
but my
mind.
duty is to put questions
Of
in
course,
this House,
of
Madam
course.
Speaker.
And I appreciate
Now-
that you're doing so.
Madam Speaker, concerning the board of the LGST, can the Honourable Prime Minister inform the House when a chairperson will be appointed?
Being done this week, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.
Now, is he aware that certain recruitments and promotions in local authorities have been delayed now for almost a year?
That is absolutely not true. He just gave a list of persons who were recruited. Now, how can he say it was one day?
Okay. Honorable Duval. Honorable Duval.
May I ask the Prime Minister, in fact, I'm reiterating from my last PQ, there were 1,463 workers who had been terminated after working 16 months, and that contributed to their pension fund, an amount of 1,084 rupees monthly, total of 17,000 rupees. Can the Prime Minister, the Minister of to whom the subject was addressed, did not answer. Now that you are Minister of Finance, can I ask the Prime Minister whether he will see to it that these sums are reimbursed to those persons who has contributed in vain 17,000 rupees?
And look into this, but again,
Can you consider?
I can consider, but I will have to look into it carefully because the court said that we will write that it was right to terminate their appointments because it was unlawful.
Yeah. Question is, don't talk, Mr. Duval. I like it when you stand up. Please do that. And, yeah, of course.
Well, Madam Speaker, it follows that if it was unlawful, then no contribution ought to have been taken, therefore be reimbursed.
Prime Minister said he would look into it and consider.
Well, if we follow that logic, then they will have to refund whatever they were paid. You want us to refund whatever they were paid as well?
Well, anyway, no comments. Anybody? Okay, so we finished with... Yes, okay.
Now, if the former chairperson was not the subject of any formal finding of wrongdoing, will the Honourable Prime Minister reconsider the circumstances of his resignation and reinstate that gentleman?
I said,
Prime
Madam
Minister.
Speaker, I think on the 20th of April, he submitted his letter of resignation, and he said it was for personal reasons. I take it, but I could be wrong. I take it when the former leader of the MMM resigned, a lot of people resigned. Maybe that's what the reason he resigned.
We don't know. He resigned. That is what we have. Factually, I mean. That's what we have. Okay. Honourable Leader of the Opposition, thank you. Okay, time up. So now we go to questions. PMQT. Yes.
Autant donc pour cette PNQ de Joe Lejonga adressée au Premier ministre lors d'un récent recrutement par Local Government Service Commission. Joe Lejonga qui connaît par rapport à un poste déboueur, refuse collector et general worker, le nombre d'employés recrutés dans chaque collectivité locale lors de l'exercice de recrutement de 2026, en précisant le nombre de candidatures rejetées lors de l'exercice, le nombre de recrues de 2026 parmi ban qui est issu de l'exercice de recrutement de 2024 et qui ce contrat fin résilié en février 2026 et qui fait l'objet d'un case la police ou encore qui peine un certificat de caractère propre. Et ban conclusion de l'enquête qui finira à la suite d'accusations de discrimination visant l'ancien président de la LGC relativement à cette affaire. D'abord, David Ramgoulam fin dire que recrutement pour collectivité locale tombe sous LGSI, une institution indépendante. Les fin revine l'auban recrutement qui fin fait sous l'ancien régime à la veille des dernières élections générales. Les fin rappelle qu'il recrutement qui cancel en juin après qui fin gagne un conseil légal depuis bureau attorney général. Ensuite finina à case qui final la cour et après jugement donc finina un nouvel exercice de recrutement. Et donc, Navin Ramgoulam fin soumettre l'information par rapport à nombre d'employés qui fin recrutés dans chaque collectivité locale. Et finina question concernant allégation de discrimination visant l'ancien président de la LGSI, Navin Ramgoulam, fin dire qu'il pena allégation de discrimination, mais finina des autres questions qui fin fait un petit peu étincelle, David Boudna. D'abord, donc, concernant processus de recrutement, Joey Jonga peut dire qu'il finira un bon pourcentage, donc le chiffre assez conséquent, il peut dire, qui sortit dans circonscription numéro D. Et il fin demande Premier ministre si qui il pas fin une représentation à l'effet qui finira interférence dans sa processus de recrutement là et finira échange des deux côtés de la chambre la source de l'information de Joey Jonga qui fin soumettre la liste et finira un point of order de Shakil Mohamed qui dit un breach of data protection law et speaker donc fin dire aussi qui pas capable oblige Joey Jonga pour révéler ce ban source.
Oui, Priscilla Sadien, donc, dans son réponse liminaire, donc, le Premier ministre fin conclure, il fin dire qu'il n'a aucune accusation de discrimination contre ancien président qui fin démissionné et qui fin bien maintenir tout dans ce réponse qui aucune autorité et aucun dimoun pas gain droit interfère avec LGSC qui est un département, un body, un co indépendant. Aucune autorité, aucune personne pas gain droit interférer et qui le Premier ministre fin martelé donc pas fini n'a aucune discrimination. Là donc il y a plusieurs questions. Là tout d'abord les leader de l'opposition fin demander si fini n'a l'enquête qui est instituée de la Premier ministre Jalili comprend qui tient la likelihood qui peut l'enquête là fin continue discuter allégation de fonds est-ce qui finit allégation corruption là le Premier ministre répond qu'il n'a aucune allégation de corruption et si un officier est au courant de ça, c'est ce devoir de rapport d'interférence ou acte de corruption. Là, à la question de Joey Jonga, est-ce qu'il finit la discrimination contre une communauté, le Premier ministre répond non, il y a beaucoup d'allégations, mais pas fini l'enquête et aucune discrimination pas fin relevé. Là, le leader de l'opposition vient dire dans la municipalité de Pau-Louis, il évoque deux cas que 3 membres d'une seule famille d'un cas et ensuite dans l'autre cas membres d'une seule famille fin recrutés et ce qui ça lit inline en lien avec méritocratie pour une fin de ça c'est mere allegations pas d'allégation. Sur prochaine question il fin dire 50% ben dimoun qui fin recruter le 123 dimoun dans municipalité pour lui, je viens dans constituency numéro 2, là après l'in dans 4 constituency pour lui et là Premier ministre fin dire pas fin aucune interférence. Les fin redemande Premier ministre est-ce qu'il finira ban membre élu de l'Assemblée nationale qui fin dire et na ban undue influence ban l'influence fin interférer pour dans recrutement, Premier ministre fin dire ça c'est ban innuendo, c'est ban allégation, pena aucune la liste. Plus loin là, comment tu peux dire après c'est la Sadia, Joey Jonga fin soumettre la liste qui lui dit c'est ban recrue et là speaker fin demande qui se source pour qu'on ait d'authenticité, qui se source, l'Indien n'est pas pour révéler ce source, expliquer l'Indien n'est pas obligé de révéler ce source. Là, le ministre Shakil Mohamed fin soulever un point of order, l'Indien par rapport à protection des données, ça, la liste dévoile ça la liste non là, non dimoun, l'adresse, tout le détail, il est capable, un entorse, à Data Protection Law. Là, speaker fin dire, il y a une sensitive issue, il est bien sensible, il pour analyser tout, et il pour guetter, il pour donner ce ruling plus tard, parce qu'il a besoin d'un sujet sensible, il pour analyser avant de donner ce ruling law là. Plus loin, l'opposition fin dire, certificat moralité, est-ce qu'il y en a des gens qui viennent recruter quand certificat moralité fait mention une condamnation qui vient d'arriver? La première disait, en 2012, si déjà il y a la loi qui dit que si un gens li fin condamné pour un cas qui pas relié du tout avec travail qui peut venir, donc pas de problème capable recruter des gens là. Et là, donc il fin référé à auparavant à ban recrutement qui ti ena sous gouvernement MSM. Autre question maintenant, c'est de Adrien Duval, il dit les 1463 qui sont employés et qui ont contrat fin terminé, je fin contribuer à un fonds pension et qui ont somme totale contribution il y a à peu près 17 000 roupies. Est-ce qui pour rembourser sa somme-là, Premier ministre, il faut considérer si capable de faire et il peut éviter.
Oui, alors, un petit peu plus bonheur, le Premier ministre rend hommage à Valaidon Ram Mordemutu, 72 ans, ancien membre de l'Assemblée nationale. Et il dit qu'au-delà de sa carrière politique et professionnelle, elle était très engagée dans le social. Alors, la séance de la PNQ est démarrée en ce moment même, David, une vingtaine de questions adressées au chef du gouvernement. Parmi les principales interpellations, sécurité nationale, l'économie, finances publiques, la police, prison ou encore Air Mauritius.
Alors, PMQT, Prime Minister Question Time, puis débute avec question député Adrien Duval, aux interceptions et téléphoniques et éventuelle introduction de la loi pour encadrer l'utilisation, donc, d'écoute téléphonique. Une autre interpellation, la Banque Maurice, notamment le poste Director of Supervision, député Nouveau Démocrate Kouchalobin, pour intéresser à projet monnaie digitale de la Banque de Maurice. De ce côté, député travailliste Kaviraj Bichouk pour demander précision le valeur de la monnaie imprimée et transférée au gouvernement en 2019 et 2024, ainsi qui ça l'impact là, l'économie. Ce collègue du parti, la députée Annabelle Savadi, pour question de Premier ministre, le décès en détention policière au carcéral depuis novembre 2024. Député Chetan Baboula, lui pour interpeller le Premier ministre, le ban ressources de ban poste la police, notamment dans Bel Air, et en particulier ban effectif, véhicules et capacités intervention. Et puis aussi, situation financière et à Mauritius aussi, pour aborder avec une question, le ban mesure corrective qui peut prévoir pour redresser la situation la compagnie.
Alors également à l'agenda ce mardi, le Constitutional Review Commission Bill qui vous présenter en première lecture par Premier ministre Navin Ramgoolam. Ce texte-là, il vise à établir un cadre légal qui permet à président de la République pour nommer une commission chargée pour réviser la Constitution, David.
Oui, donc ça Constitutional Review Commission Bill là très attendu, donc pour revoir un aspect important de nos constitutions, il prévoit création d'un Senior Officials Appointment Committee. Ça comité-là, il peut charger faire une recommandation au gouvernement, la nomination à la tête d'une institution publique, à l'exception d'un poste qui est déjà prévu par la Constitution. Texte-là prévoit aussi inscription dans la Constitution, obligation organise élection municipale à intervalles réguliers, pareil comme l'élection générale. Aussi examen mesures anti-transfuge pour encadrer un changement allégeance politique d'un député au courant de mandat. Une autre réforme qui peut aussi attendre, création d'un nouveau la cour d'appel au sein de la Cour suprême, qui pour composer un juge en appel, pour écoute un recours contre une décision première instance de Cour suprême, tout qui toujours pour mettre une impossibilité, recours final à Privy Council. Le gouvernement propose aussi une division constitutionnelle au sein de la Cour suprême pour accélérer le traitement des affaires liées aux droits constitutionnels et aux droits humains. Et sa Constitutional Review Commission Bill, là, il prévoit aussi renforcement de l'indépendance directeur poursuite publique et inscription de la Constitution dans valeur de la paix, de la justice, de la liberté qui figure dans l'hymne national. Aussi, qui évoqué l'année dernière, qui est évoqué possiblement ces juges Benasikian pour présider sa commission-là.
Alors sinon, débat, le Electronic Transactions Amendment Bill peut débuter aujourd'hui. Ce projet de loi-là vise à moderniser et élargir le cadre juridique régissant une transaction électronique à Maurice. Autant donc pour cette séance de la PNQ. Merci David Boudna.
Merci à vous, merci aux auditeurs et aux internautes.
Merci à toute l'équipe technique, Abhishek Sitool pour le son et Adesh. Donc Adesh également pour les images. À très bientôt.